Hi, I hope all is well with you on this beautiful December the 14th, 2025. It's just amazing to me how the month is truly going by quickly. This week has been very, just been a week of um, much needed reflection. I'm pausing and thinking because it's just so much that comes to mind for me this week when it comes down to my reflection on today. Just the totality of the entire week. I'm on vacation. I am enjoying myself by myself. Of course, I'm out of town with some family, but I'm taking the time to just be to myself personally. My sister has been gracious to host me in her home, and I really appreciate her. All this week, I've been able to get out and about in the city. I have not been here in a long time. I think the last time I was in the Queen City area was back in 2004 and 5 when I moved here. I was one of my parents' first daughters to go off to college, and I was the one that took a chance back then and left home first to go to college. But nonetheless, I have been truly enjoying some time to myself in Charlotte. Just being able to spend some time with my family here and connecting back with my sisters. We recently, of course, we had a FaceTime, so I was able to connect and laugh and giggle and act crazy with them on FaceTime. But nothing beats seeing everybody in person. I love it. And just having the opportunity to just catch up, but more than anything, just reflect. And I was by myself earlier today, doing a little retail therapy at the mall, and I realized, wow, I am free. I am safe to be free, and there's no shame in that. I think often for me personally, because I have been used to going on the go, just always having to stay busy, I have felt a lot of just being challenged to just rest. This is something that I talk about even on my walks at the lake in my development back where I live. I'm on the other side of North Carolina myself, and I'm like, you got to be okay with just having freedom. I know it sounds strange. Some people say, "Oh, you'll be all right. You can adjust." You like my mom, she was getting on me a little bit about you know you're free. You don't have to worry about that type of work anymore or just the job itself. Do y'all know some days I still get up in the morning at 3:30 like I'm preparing to go to my job at Duke, and I just think that is so crazy. I have not been at Duke. It is 6 months now, and my body is still dying out of those old patterns. And I said, "You know what, Wanda? Allow the process to happen naturally." That's something that I just told myself this week without feeling, I guess, that need to just be upset because I was getting irritated. I'm being honest. I'm like, Wanda, why are you still waking up? There's some days I can sleep and get up at 9 and 10 o'clock in the mornings, and that's my normal average time. But there are some days where I still feel that, I guess, knee jerk reaction to get up at 3:30 in the morning, like I still live in Raleigh, to get back to Durham to go to work at 5 a.m. And I'm not in that setting anymore. And it's just funny to me because I legit woke up and was like, I'm gonna be late for work. And I'm like, Wanda, no, you're not gonna be late for work. You don't work there anymore. You got a new job. You're in grad school. Everything that you prayed for is here. Relax. I had to tell myself that, and I'm not ashamed to say it because I'm trying not to laugh hard on this camera. But y'all should have saw me this week. I woke up at 3:30 in the morning like I still was preparing to go to Duke, and like I lived in Wake County, and I don't. So, just finding a settled rhythm. I was able to talk with somebody earlier this week, and they told me to, this is not going to happen overnight. The need and wanting this to just settle in. She said, give it about another 2 to 3 months. Everything that you left behind will be second to none because it's like your spirit and your body is in a new space, but your mind is still trying to, um, I guess, sort out, you know, the new aspects of your life. And she just told me to give myself the freedom to just sit in the feeling that I have sometimes, because sometimes there is a wave of sadness that still comes over me that I left behind, my old patterns of life, work, people, the environments, places I like to shop, coffee places I like to sit in. The area that I'm in now, we don't have a lot of that stuff. So it's just the little things that I miss about things that I left behind. But I do know that I'm getting myself prepared to move forward in another avenue. So I can only imagine how that's going to be coming up in 2026. So it's going to be very interesting. But my reflection this week was just being okay with the uncertainty sometimes that comes with transitioning and moving on and not being stuck and staying in a space. I've had people tell me, are you sure you want to do this? You're 40 years old. Why are you running? Why are you not settled, or why are you not content? I'm not content because there's more to my life. I said before, I'm praying that God will allow me to see 80, 90, and well over 100. If it's His will over my life, I want to live past 100 years old. I don't want to be one of those people who looks back and say, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. I don't want that to be my story. And I only say that because I've had conversations with family recently, last week to be exact. And I heard someone in particular, a family member of mine, saying, I wish I could have done what you're doing, not only going back to school and getting, your degree, but you're going on to your master's and hopefully your PhD at some point. And I wish I would have done that. And I was listening to them talk and just reflect over what they wish they would have done. And I realized, like, I'm just grateful that I don't have to say that. And I encourage any and everybody, whether it's education, whether it's moving to another state, whether it's moving in general, whether it's cutting ties, whether it's getting a new job, whatever it is, don't be afraid to take a chance on yourself. I would have never thought early January 2025 that I would be where I am now, right now. I am just finishing up part one and phase again of my research, something that I had up here, but now it is materialized on paper. And it was, it's getting prepared to be submitted into phase two. I never thought I would be here right now. I only thought about it, I only prayed about it, but it's here. And I'm not running away from that. So, this research that you've already heard me talk about is very near and dear to me because of my own personal stories. And I'm not going to quit talking about that. I think people, they get uncomfortable when you talk about things that you're trying to grow in. But like I said, I encourage anybody. This is what my channel is all about: growth, life, faith, and growth in the eyes of Kawanda Hall. It's going to look different for all of us. My faith may look smaller than yours. My faith may be bigger than yours. I don't know. But I believe in God. I believe in what I prayed for. And He is really, really directing my paths right now. I laid in my bed last night and I thought about it. I said, Lord, even in the midst of me just having a little uncertainty and doubt, I said, Wanda, no. God is already opening the door. Just keep going. These are things that I told myself. A wave of sadness did come, and I've been releasing a lot of tears because, yeah, I just am in a space where there are just people that I really, really, really wish I could bring along with me, but I can't. This is a road that I have to travel on my own. It's is it a poem or is it a short story? The road less traveled. That road is life. A lot of people, they veer off. Some people, they only go straight and they don't turn off on those side roads to do something different. But my week has just been an opportunity for me to think about everything that I want out of life and everything that I'm just grateful I don't have to say I didn't do. I also just reflected over a conversation that my oldest sister and I had. I love talking to her. There's nothing that, I don't know. I just thank God for my oldest sister. She is always dropping pearls of wisdom in my lap. when me and her are talking about ways that we have grown as women, ways that we've had our trials and tribulations in life, and the mountains and hurdles that we've had to overcome as women and mothers, and just, it's just, I can't explain it, but I'm just grateful for her listening to me and just giving me that great big sister sound advice. I like to do a wellness check on all my sisters and brothers, and I like to just ask everybody how they're doing. And that's something, again, that I want to do better at as the year proceeds into 2026, just doing a better job of keeping up with my sisters and brothers a little bit better. I know, life has a way of naturally pulling us all in different directions, but um, nothing beats a good old FaceTime now with my siblings, and sometimes just impromptu, in the middle of the week conversations. But again, I'm on vacation and I'm just learning to allow my mind to be free and live in the moment, and just don't dwell on things that are no longer within my pathway. I think that was my biggest problem, um, coming into changing careers. Because, they say we have those two different instances where we have a career within our 20s, maybe early 30s, and then we part ways with that career for the most part, and people settle down into another career until they retire. And I found my purpose. I found what I want to do in life, and I found where I want to excel. And my goal is to help one person at a time and give them the best that I have, because I know the people who have poured into me. They taught me not only to pour into myself now, of course, and I'm just grateful again. Before I end here, my first part of my series, Breaking Patterns, what survival mode has taught me. It is not about, a woe is me story or anything like that. It's just me being honest, raw, and real with my audience about what overfunctioning taught me. And I can truly say that I'm not in that pattern of overfunctioning anymore. Not because, again, anyone told me I had to, but because I know now through wisdom and life experience and the right people in my corner and the great deal of help that I have received from a host of people, that it's not necessary. Also, I want to say, if you haven't, please take the time to go to my mini series, Breaking Patterns. It's a 3-part series, and part 1 is out. And please also be on the follow up commentary of my honest, raw reaction of what I felt watching myself live back on YouTube. That'll be available on December the 17th. And I hope you all enjoy your preceding week. And I have a big announcement coming up December the 15th. So look out for that tomorrow. Y'all have a good one.